Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Tosiyat, coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem HaKadosh. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akyam across this world who are spreading this knowledge and truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening. And may the election be upon your households. God Shalom. So let me put this here. So I want to talk a bit about the story of Joseph, where he was basically putting grain away for 7 years to prepare himself for the famine that was to come. And later his brothers, that put him away, had to come to him in Egypt because there was a famine. So first they turned their back towards him, and now they had to come towards him for food, man. So what I wanted to say with this story is that in the times to come, we can also, have some food or things stored up for the chaotic times to come, when the storehouses are going to be found empty, like the Bible says. You're not going to be able to go to the stores anymore, okay? So we can, of course, maybe for a week or something, put food in our fridge, or put food in your garage. What else you have, man? A drink, you put water, you put canned foods, like food that can last for long, maybe beans, tuna, things like that, fruit in a can, and bottles of water. But we don't put our trust in these things, that this is going to keep us safe. Okay, we put our trust in who? In the Most High Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai. All right, that he's going to keep us safe and guide us through those times. Okay? But you can prepare yourself a little bit. Just don't be overly prepping, so to say, like you buying mad backpacks with crazy types of food and things in it. Meanwhile, you might not even have the ability to carry all those things with you when the time comes, man. Who says you're going to be in your house? Or who says you're going to be at a spot where you have all those things stored up? Now, in certain cases, as you see in the movies, let's say when shit hits the fan, you are maybe, let's say, maybe 2 hours away from your house, right? And in the back of your mind, like, hey, in my garage, I stored up some good foods, So when shit hits the fan, you might try to make your way back to your house because you know that you have some food stored up over there, Those are different scenarios that could happen. But it's not logical that if you have 16 backpacks with food and drink and what else in it, that you are going to be able to take that with you if you got to leave your house, if you got to leave the whole area, Let's say the whole area where you live in is going to be a military outpost, and anybody that gets shut down, for example, gets a headshot, You don't know what the scenario will be like. But like I said, you can prepare yourself a little bit here and there. Of course, man, it's normal. If you go on a journey, let's say you drive with your car from Holland to to France. It's like a 6-hour drive to Paris, for example. You're also gonna put some food and some drinking water in your car, right? Especially if you have kids, so you don't have to buy anything outside, for example. So we always have like some form of preparation with us. Well, let me not say always, but it's I would say a common thing to have some form of preparation with food and drink with you. Clothing, maybe, extra blanket, what else, man? So you can prepare a backpack for yourself, of course, but to don't be over prepping, so to say, man. Okay, because then you are leaning a bit more towards trusting in those carnal things and in those preparations rather than trusting on Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. So I hope that makes sense in your ears, okay? So Genesis chapter 41. Let's read the story of the corn, of the grain that Joseph stored up. Now let's start at verse 1. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, And behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine and fat-fleshed, and they fed in the meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept and dreamed the second time. And behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 17 ears, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the 17 ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled. So he was like, hey, what's going on, man? When he had these dreams. And he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Okay? So nobody could tell him what the dream meant. So let me go here to verse 25. And Joseph, because Joseph was able to interpret the dream, you know. So let me see. Let me go. No, let me read it. Verse 25. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. Yahweh had shewed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears, blasted with the east wind, shall be 7 years of famine. Okay? This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What Yahweh is about to do, he shewed unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. So for a period of 7 years, you know, there would be enough food and things like that in the land of Egypt, man. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. Okay, all those years that you had plenty, you're gonna forget it in a moment when that famine is gonna come, you know. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, verse 31. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by Yahweh, and Yahweh will surely bring it to pass. So it would happen very quick, man. Very, very soon it would happen. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. So now he's explaining like, okay, take the 5th part of the food, and because now there's enough, and basically store it up, you know, prepare it, you know, keep it in a certain, it was going to be put in a certain state that it would not, you know, basically get, for example, old, all those things, you know, after so many years. It says, and let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities, you see, and that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. Okay, so he shows you like, okay, store up this food for 7 years so that the land will not perish. Now, of course, you have to understand Pharaoh being in a position where he has to take care of his whole country. Of course, he's gonna store enough food to feed his whole country, man. So not for us where we gonna, you know, store up food for years, you know, like in this situation, because we don't have to take care of a whole country. Okay, you might have to take care of yourself, your brothers, sisters in this truth, and maybe your household, for example, you know. So a few persons. So there's not gonna be a whole of years preparation. And like I said, man, who says you're gonna be able to have access to those things, man? So maybe a backpack for like a week with food and drink, a clean blanket, a lamp in it for light, when it gets dark, new clothing, okay, a knife, a fire starter, a radio, okay, canned foods, all right, consisting of, let's say, beans, tuna, and fruit, and maybe a bottle or 2 bottles of water, for example, Make a backpack. So when shit is the fan and you need to go away, you at least have a backpack with those things in it. Maybe have some cash or some gold or silver in those backpacks also. Maybe 100 euros, who knows, man. Okay, you don't know. Maybe you come in a situation where you have to trade off some things or you have to buy your way into a certain safe area. Who knows when shit is the fan. Okay, but some form of preparation is not bad. Okay, and next to that backpack, you might have a room in your garage where you have some food in cans, some water bottles, more water bottles, etc., maybe for a week or something, or a week and a half or 2 weeks at the most. But don't go overboard with it, man, because you always know that when shit is the fan, people also gonna come in with gang-related activities, and they might bust in your house and they might steal all the food and all the drink that you have stored up, man. Because those things are also going to happen. You see? But we know that in those times, Yahweh Bashem Yashai is going to take care of his servants, like the book of Isaiah 65, verse 13 says. So we know that we're going to have enough food and drinking water in those times. Okay? But to prepare yourself a little bit, is nothing wrong with that. You see? It says, verse 37, and the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. So let me go here to when the full storehouses shall be found empty, because those times will come, man. You ain't gonna go to the Walmart or what else, man. Anything more, to the Jumbo, to the Albert Heijn to buy your groceries. It's gonna be done away. Okay, 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses. Okay, normally the shopping center is full with food and drink, right? The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. It's gonna be found empty all of a sudden. Also, when people are gonna go crazy and run to the stores, like in the Rona time, within a day, 2 days, they were emptying out the shelves, man. They will take in all the food, all the toilet paper, what else, man? So when people do this, and there's no trucks or trains anymore that will deliver a new load or a new batch of food and drinking water and toilet paper and what else, man, then the store will stay empty, right? So what you gonna do for the up and coming days after those times when the stores are empty? So that's where shit really gets interesting. That's why we trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, man. And like I said, man, you might have to leave your house in those times. Okay? 2nd Ezra 16 and 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Okay? So when the evil times come, chaos, you need to be as a pilgrim. A pilgrim is somebody that goes from place to place. You don't have one house where you can stay, You have to go, you have to stay on the move. Because danger follows, man. But we know that Yahweh Bashem Yashai will take care of us, okay? So don't worry. Let me close it off with this one. Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So on the left, you have people that don't listen to Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. They will be hungry, they will be thirsty, okay? They will be ashamed. But on the right hand, on the right-hand side of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, you have the ones, the Israelites, the elect that do listen. So they will have enough food, enough drinking water. You know, they won't be hungry or thirsty. They will be rejoicing, they will be in a good estate. You see? So that's what we trust upon, man. And what else? Outside of a physical food and drink, also spiritual food and drink is what's going to keep us stable in those times. Okay, Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of their times, and strength of salvation. So the wisdom and the knowledge that you're getting up right now by reading the scriptures, watching the videos, making notes, doing studies, that knowledge and wisdom is also going to keep you stable in those evil times to come, man. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. You got to be very afraid for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. Okay? The ones that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you know, those are the ones that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will give the wisdom and knowledge, and will keep safe in those times, you know. So with that, because if you don't fear the Lord, you think there's no God, you don't fear God, you know, you be like, what else, man? Whatever, man. I can just rob this bank and nothing's going to happen to me. I can just do this or that. Nothing's going to happen to me. I can just take this woman. Meanwhile, she's already with a man and nothing's going to happen to me. That's how you're going to be when you don't fear the Lord, man. But we do fear the Lord, man. And we know that he's going to keep us safe in those times. Okay? So, Yahweh Tazadis was edifying. With that, I want to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akyam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge and truth and sincerity. And shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening, and may the election be upon your households. God shalom.